Hang in
Dude,
there.
that Smylie Kaufman for 61. Wow.
I'm Smylie Kaufman, and this is The Smylie Show. My agent at the time, Jimmy Johnson, of course, you work with, he was like, hey, man, you need to go play. Like, I'm working back through things. I'm going to pair you up with Andrew Novak. I'm like, great. So I come down to Sea Island, and we, of course, play. You carry me. I try to just survive in advance. I told Charlie when we were talking about this on Monday, it's like, I'm surprised I didn't ruin his career those 2 days. He saw some things he shouldn't have seen as a young tour pro. But what came to my mind was I am 99% sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, that Ben caddied for you during that deal. I know that Ben caddied.
I think you're right.
He caddied out at Sea Island in an event I played in. And I was like, what other event would I have played at where we played the plantation course? Because I vividly remember talking to him walking down fairways, especially number one.
But we played Seaside both days, though.
Dude, he caddied.
He might have.
I think Ben caddied for you.
He really might have, but we definitely played Seaside.
We definitely, maybe it was number one at Seaside. I'm thinking we're walking down. Anyways, what other event would Ben Griffin be caddying?
I actually think you might be right. I'll have to ask him on that. Now that you say that, I hadn't even thought of that, but
because I don't think he was back playing quite yet. Because he had, I think he was like in that process around that time of working his way back.
We played golf every day of COVID, like every day.
Yeah.
Like we were out there just.
Would that have been around the same time that he had gotten the funding to go back and play?
I don't remember the exact timeline, but it had to be because I got my card that year. I got my card the next year.
22.
Yeah. And he got out on Corn Ferry and then got his card the next year.
I think he caddied for us.
So I think you might be right.
Yeah. Anyways, I just thought it hit me when you guys were on Sunday. I was thinking, I know these guys are friends. I know they play a lot together, but then it hit me. I was like, he caddied for Andrew in our event at Sea Island. and this is just another part of Ben Griffin's story, right? Like going from winning on the PGA Tour now to having to watch me play golf and caddy for you at the COVID event in Seattle.
We played all right, actually.
We hung in there.
In the team thing, I mean, you made some birdies.
Oh, I'll give you some birdies, Andrew.
Yeah, you gave me some birdies.
I'll give you some birdies.
I just was on my own about half the time.
Which is fine. It's
fine.
And good for you.
You're
like for being a
teammate.
Yeah. I'll give you some birdies. I tell Charlie that's my MO now is I'll give you 5 to 7 birdies around, but I'll give you about 5 to 7 X's on a day or two. So hey, it's fun. I have fun with it. Another reason why the Zurich Classic you may have been more relaxed and you could take your mind off of things is that it's NFL draft week. I'm sure that constantly the entire week, all you're thinking about is what's going to happen on this Thursday first round. And then Friday, you're thinking about who's going in the 2-3. And the whole week was about the Shedeur Sanders show. But when I listen to your podcast, the screenplay podcast, as you can see visibly on the hat that you're wearing, if you're watching on YouTube, dude, you're like a legit analyst, man. Like when I was listening, I could not believe how much ball you knew about all of these different prospects. How much tape have you watched? Like, do you go and like legitimately find YouTube videos of all these players?
Yeah, I watch a bit of tape. I just watch a lot of football in the fall. Like if it's Thursday, like there's football on, I'll watch it.
Are you taking notes? Are you just taking mental notes?
No, not really. This is something Maddie can comment. I just don't forget stuff really.
Yeah.
Like kind of why I didn't have to study in school. Like if a teacher said it once, I was probably going to remember it. Like if I watch somebody play, like I don't know. I remember it.
WizKid.
I love watching football. I'll watch most any teams play. I liked watching some of the smaller teams play this year. I thought a lot of like the more dynamic players in college football this past year were actually at like smaller schools. I think I touched on a few of them in the draft, but like Jalen Royals out of Utah State, Torrey Horton out of Colorado State. He was super fun to watch this year. Ricky White He ended up going 7th round. I think he was out of UNLV. Like, they were just fast, fun to watch players that I got to see a bit of this year when they were on TV.
How did you think your Panthers did? Because I follow a lot of I love watching like all of Todd McShay's clips. It pops up on my TikTok, and heading into the draft, he was not high on the wide receiver you guys got out of Arizona. His grade was at like 50. Do you think that was a good fit and pick for the Panthers? Because I was watching a video that you said the Panthers really can't screw up this pick.
Yeah, I think there were a lot of options they could have gone, and the board fell about how I thought it would. I mean, on our podcast in the mock draft, I went 7 for 7 in the first 7 picks. So, like, I knew exactly who was going to be available for the Panthers slot. The Panthers was kind of the slot I didn't really know. You know, that's my team, and I had no idea which way they were going to go with it. I thought there was good options everywhere, and they went one way. A lot of the ways that people rate the Panthers draft comes down to where people have T-Mac rated. I think he was probably one of the more like polarizing players. Like, some people are like, oh, he's the number 1 wide receiver by far. He's, you know, a top 10 player. And then some people didn't really like him as a prospect. I think the Panthers drafted very heavily to our needs. And Dan Morgan was not
needs.
We needed edge rusher. We needed really all defense. And then specifically like a weapon for Bryce Young. So we needed a wide receiver. That was probably about all we needed on offense. I saw we grabbed a running back as well. I'm guessing that speaks a lot more towards how Jonathan Brooks' knee is looking, which is super unfortunate because obviously we used a 2nd rounder there last year. But anyway, we grabbed the wide receiver and then we grabbed a bunch of defense. I'm a little surprised we didn't address like off-ball linebacker, but 2 good pass rushers. We grabbed the safety, which we definitely needed. I think for the most part, we drafted specifically to our needs, and then it's going to come down to whether these guys end up producing, whether they're actual good football players.
Well, how would you say this draft was? Meaning is like, it just didn't felt like it had just the high echelon, like 1st round dudes like we typically see. Like, there were so many players that I was like, really, that's a 1st round guy, huh? Like, in years past, I would have said they would have been slipping a lot more. Was this class like much deeper with like more talent on the back end?
I think a lot of it is like, it's like a 2-part problem. So one, like in general, a lot of like analysts had this as a little bit weaker draft class, but also I think that the way the broadcast went down kind of undermined the quality of some of the prospects. Like, Cam Ward goes 1, unbelievable player, unbelievable college career. You have Travis Hunter, this absolute unicorn of a player, like doing stuff we've never seen before.
Did you like that trade? Did you like the trade Jags did? Did they give up too
the
much?
Jags will sell more jerseys. I don't think they're necessarily going to win a ton of football games, but they'll sell more jerseys, so that's cool. Abdul Carter, unbelievable talent at pass rusher. Like, there are good players, but if you look at the entire coverage of the draft of the 1st round, half of it is talking about Shedeur Sanders, who went in the 5th round. Now, why have we spent the entire 1st round talking about a guy who's gone in the 5th round? Like, that's just undermining like what we're seeing all of these other guys doing. Mm-hmm. Like, these are good players that are going, but they're not talking about the good players that are going. They're talking about this guy who's just sitting in a house waiting to be picked.
Did it surprise you at all? Like, when I'm sure you followed everything with the draft. Did you see a world in which that he dropped to the 5th?
I had it in our mock. I had him going 1st round, but I thought that's just because a team was going to take him. I didn't think he was that level of a player. I thought he was more like maybe a day 2 player. Like, I thought like where the Saints took Tyler Shough, I think that would have been like about where I would have thought Shedeur maybe would have gone. I thought that was maybe the level of his tape. But look, if his interviews were as bad as some people have said they were, and you don't want to deal with the drama and like everything that's going to bring, I'm not surprised that teams just flat out took him off their board. Like, it's not like in my opinion, it's not like it's a can't miss player. Like, I feel like it's very replaceable. Like, you can get a backup quarterback that can basically do what he does, and that's be reasonably accurate and reasonably on time. Like, there are backup quarterbacks that do that. They don't really have like elite traits, but they can just function in the offense.
your college performance does not relate to the National Football League. It never
They
does.
played side by side
Yes.
with each other, and he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. That's an issue. That's a major issue.
It wasn't
the
that
best
he wasn't as
quarterback
good as
prospect
Quinn
they've ever
Ewers.
got to Texas.
It wasn't that he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. It was Quinn Ewers' program, which Steve Sarkisian
Why
made
would it be
very
Quinn
clear
Ewers' program?
the entirety of the time that
No.
Arch Manning was in Austin. So for you to argue that because Ewers is a 7th-round pick,
Quinn
Arch
Ewers'
Manning is
team.
not that good and not deserving of being first overall is
Yes.
asinine. It is wrong.
I
It
just
is
told you
incorrect.
he's going to be number 1 overall. My whole thing was I'm
you're
buying
doing
him
your
because
thing now
I
where you
expect him to
double
have
down on a
decent
tape
season. No, I'm
that
not
is
doing that.
incorrect
The
when I
best
show it's
quarterback
incorrect.
prospect to ever hit college football can't play
He's
over
not
a
so.
7th-round
There
pick
were two
who didn't even
perfectly
play
rated
good.
quarterback
Stop
recruits
it.
in the
Stop
history of
it.
the sport.
Quinn
Vince
Ewers couldn't
Young
even play at
and
Ohio
Quinn
State.
Ewers.
He couldn't even play at
Vince
Ohio
Young and
State.
Quinn Ewers. Go look it up.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
What'd you think about them taking 2 QBs, Tilly Gabriel and Shador Sanders?
my
now they
co-host
have 5 quarterbacks. Like, what are we doing here, right?
My co-host on the podcast said it literally felt like the Cleveland Browns had 5 different people drafting, and it was like, okay, you get this pick, you get this pick, you get, and like by the end of the draft, it's all like, how has this been like what this turned into? Like, it's like there's no like logic behind any of it. The running backs I do kind of get because they are very different. Well, I don't even want to say very different. Like Sampson's like a pretty physical guy, but
yeah,
they are different style. Like I think Judkins a little bit bigger. Sampson's like a little bit more of a speed guy, which is fine. You know, they're not gonna have Chubb anymore. Jerome Ford, I think, is a good player, but maybe if he lost a few pounds, picked up some of that speed that he showed initially, maybe would be more helpful to have Judkins be more of the bruiser. But I think the Browns are definitely still a few years away from being good. I hope my caddy's not listening.
Wait, what was your favorite pick in this NFL draft?
My favorite pick?
Your favorite pick. So you're sitting here watching and you're like, man, that is the best value. That's the best fit for a team. It could be in any round. The one that you were just like, man, they absolutely
in the first round. I hate this because, you know, being a Panthers fan, in the first round, I really think the Falcons killed it. Their pass rush was so unbelievably bad last year.
Pierce, is that who they got?
Well, yeah, but even before that, Jalen Walker somehow made it all the way to 15. And that's like the exact kind of player I think they needed. Like, I don't think a lot of people were expecting him to make it to 15. And so the Falcons getting exactly what they needed there was ideal. And then, of course, they did loop back and trade up for Pierce, which I thought that was a little bit interesting because you just grabbed the pass rusher. Now you have 2, which is great. But I don't know how much like Pierce is going to offer you first and second down. And you just gave up your first round pick. And I'm not convinced that the Falcons aren't just going to go like 5-12 anyway this year. So you might have just like given up a top 10 pick next year. That seems a little bit questionable. But yeah, that Jalen Walker pick was really, really good. I'd have to look. There's probably a second or third rounder that made it somewhere that I think.
Yeah. Well, we can
think about it for a bit.
We can stay here on theme with the NFL draft, but I want you to help me create the perfect prospect as a golfer. So I want you to think about all the different tools when you could talk about driving the golf ball, ironing it, putting, chipping, even fashion or mental game. Create the perfect NFL draft prospect for a PGA Tour player. So starting with driving and work your way down.
Yeah. I mean, it has to be Rory, right? Like the way he drives the ball.
I think that's where I'm going.
Yeah, it's got to be Rory. It's stupid what he does off the tee.
So we're going Rory driving.
Rory driving. I don't see any reason not just take Scotty's iron game. That
Anybody else that's kind of close that you're considering other than Scotty? I'm with you
Specifically
here.
Iron Game, like if you want to go underrated, like let's throw Tom Hoagie in there.
Mhm.
His approach game is kind of nuts. Yeah, Colin
Yeah,
at
Colin
night,
too.
like,
All right, so scrambling.
me.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. We're in a creative player mode, and we got Andrew Novak now in the creative player here in this virtual world. All right, what about putter?
Denny.
Yeah, Denny.
It's probably the way to go, right?
I think I'm Denny.
Yeah.
Okay. What about fashion? Now we're dressing our player.
Not Keith.
So you're going Victor?
I don't know. Adidas makes some nice stuff. It looks a little better on Ludwig, but I'd say
He's got to go. You got to go corporate on us here.
Oh man, nobody gets too crazy with the fashion besides Keith, which makes it tough because you can't like single out like any one guy. I mean, man, I can't. We're not doing a visor. Like we can't do Keith. We're not doing that. I'm fine doing a bucket hat. We can do the Joel Damon bucket, but like we're not doing it.
We got Joel Damon bucket hat going over the fashion. All right, one mental game that you think a guy's overall mental game is probably the best.
I can't use Joel again for that. Strongest mental game.
It's kind of hard because you can't look inside somebody's brain, but you can always observe what your perception is.
If we're trying to make this just like feel like an unbeatable force, like we could almost throw Peter Malnati and just drive people crazy because just the amount of positivity is like I'm losing to this guy by 6 shots right now, like, and he's being entirely too nice about it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We got the creative player.
I think you're right. I think like a Xander or maybe like a Patrick Cantlay, like very. Like when I watch them play, they just seem very, very focused in on what they're doing.
Yes.
Very
like one shot at a time.
Structured.
Actually, it looks like it's one shot at a time.
Yeah. Yeah. Very structured. Like they know exactly what they want to do, what they're trying to do in the moment.
Yeah.
It feels very like not like robotic, like scientific. Like it's like we're doing this and then we're doing this and they've got it down.
And you're now exempt into the majors because you're inside the top 50 in the world. You're 33rd in the OWGR. You're 9th in the Ryder Cup points list. And heading into the year, we already talked about it. You're 82nd in the FedEx Cup. Weren't in the signature events. Weren't in the majors. You've played one major in your career. And you're sitting here now and you have all the opportunities in front of you. How excited are you now to be able to not only pick your schedule, but prepare for the biggest events in the world, knowing that you're a player that plays really well on hard golf courses?
Yeah, this is what I wanted to do. I had some kind of bigger goals this year. I felt it was about time. Like I kind of took the next step.
Are you a guy who like, do you set goals? Like, are you somebody heading into the year? Like, are you write them down or you just
I think this year I've been a little more like bigger goals and trying to like tell myself they are achievable. Obviously like a win knocks one of those off, but like I have like bigger aspirations for this year. Like that was big, but that's not the end of it. Like that's a step towards what I'm trying to get to. I mean, you talked about the Ryder Cup, but Bethpage has been announced for a while. And when that was announced, I kind of had that circled. Like I wanted, a lot of what I've done is to kind of make a run this year to see what I can do, because
knows how to show love to our everyday heroes. So if you're a first responder, you are in for some perks. Lots of hotels and casino offer big discounts to any first responders who can show valid work or volunteer ID. So treat yourself to a discounted stay. You deserve it. See you in Las Let's get lucky.
The Warriors' future was uncertain. Are they going to break it up? Steve Kerr coming back. They get Jimmy Butler, and they surge all the way through, and now they're through the first round.
The Warriors have guys, because of how special their star three trio is, they can make the guys around them better. They can elevate the way that they play. And we saw that. Steph Curry, 3 points in the first half, steps up in the second half, 19 points in the second half to carry them home.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Under him was Sharon Moore, who also participated in the cheating scandal with Connor Stallions. So you know what happens to him? He doesn't lose his job. He doesn't get a 10-year show cause. He gets to keep his job, and they go, we're just going to suspend you for 2 games next season.
Now, all of a sudden, they're coming out with everything that we knew to be pretty much true when it was happening. Yeah, they were cheating. It was like Belichick and the videotapes, right?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
18.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Like with the New York fans there, I truly think it's going to be like one of the most unbelievable atmospheres, one of the most unbelievable Ryder Cups that we'll see. So it's been a good start, but I know like I don't have much of a background of like a resume to like point back to. So I feel like personally I'm going to have to like really show that I belong. Like I can't just be a fringe guy. Like I can't just kind of sleepwalk through the rest of the year and expect to get picked. Like that's not going to work. Like Keegan wants to win. And if he's going to pick me, I've got to like prove to him that I should be on the team. Because you can't just go off like, okay, this guy had one hot month in like April. Like that's not the Ryder Cup's in September. Like you can't just go off one hot month and assume that that's enough. I've got to, you know, like you said, I've only played one major. I have 3 majors coming up. I'm expecting, I'm going to have to show like some good progress, some good golf in those, because the Ryder Cup's about as pressure packed as it gets. The majors are about as close as we can get to that, I would assume, like as far as like simulating that kind of level of pressure.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to have to show that I can handle that. I think it'll be good for me to handle that. Like in case I am on this team in Bethpage, like I'm going to have some high pressure moments to look back on, to be comfortable to perform.
Of course.
I think having a home crowd will be a huge advantage. I think that will help immensely, but no, I'm excited. Like this is the start I was hoping for. And it's just, you know, what can I use that to lead to? Like, can I keep it going? I mean, that's my goal. That's my plans. It's golf. Like,
of course,
never know exactly what's going to happen, but I feel good. I'm excited to play some of these courses we have lined up here in the future. It's going to be a little interesting. It's a lot of golf courses I actually haven't played.
Like Memorial is another one too, so, right?
It's going to be, you know, my caddies will be working overtime. I'm going to be working overtime. It literally like Heritage, like on Thursday, we're playing the first round and we're like sitting there scribbling notes in our book for like Saturday and Sunday, like literally learning on the fly. But I feel like we've been doing an unbelievable job, like communicating that. And
at least you're going to a PGA Championship that Quail Hollow is a place you're familiar with.
Never played there.
Really?
Never played there.
A Carolina Panthers guy.
Never played
Charlotte.
there.
I just, when I think of you, I think of Charlotte. I just think
we were an hour from Quail in college. Never went.
Not familiar. I stand corrected. Andrew Novak, never been on property. Never had one of those famous, is it the churros that they have in the locker room?
Didn't even know they did churros.
I think it might be, it's donuts. It's some form of fried bread situation with some glazing.
Yep.
And
never been there, wouldn't know.
Okay, well, you're gonna have to give a full review now because they're terrific. Gosh, here I am just putting words in your mouth.
No, I have not played Philly cricket. I have not played quail. I have played Oakmont once, but not in U.S. Open conditions at all.
Well, it always is like U.S. Open conditions.
Well, I played it the one time it was not, because I got out there with my caddy, and it was like a week after they had the USAM, so they were actually like protecting the golf course a little bit because it was recovering from that. So the rough wasn't quite up, the greens weren't quite as fast. Like I'm very excited to see how that is. I have not played Murfield Village either, so. There's going to be a lot of learning for me in this next upcoming stretch.
Are you a guy on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday who takes it light, though, Andrew? Are you somebody that, so not a ton of practice, maybe more like on course?
Week, definitely practice. In an ideal week, I spend as little time on the actual golf course as almost anybody in the field. I very much love playing 9 on Tuesday and then my 9 in the Pro-Am on Wednesday, and I'm good. But I'm also, like I said, my memory, the way it works, like I can see it once and I've pretty much got it. So obviously playing it a few times, like I just add on to that, but I don't want to spend a ton of time out there on the course just playing. Like I'll get my work done on the range, on the putting green, and see it and go from there.
Well, I look forward to watching, man. It's been a great start to your season. Obviously, 6th in the FedEx Cup race. I'm sure the Tour Championship, of course, is on your mind too. Making it to Eastlake for the first time, and you also made a lot of money too. Made $5.5 million this year, so that's not too bad either. So, next dinner on you, Andrew. Next time we see each other, but gonna be cheering you on, man. And of course, love your family, and look forward to see you next week. So, I appreciate you coming on, and of course, if you're watching or listening. Hey, if you're an NFL person, go subscribe and like the Screenplay podcast. This guy gives the goods when it comes to the NFL, and of course, giving the goods on the golf course. So, Andrew, we appreciate you coming on, man, and best of luck to you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
The Warriors' future was uncertain. Are they going to break it up? Steve Kerr coming back. They get Jimmy Butler, and they surge all the way through, and now they're through the first round.
The Warriors have guys, because of how special their star 3 trio is, they can make the guys around them better. They can elevate the way that they play. And we saw that. Steph Curry, 3 points in the first half, steps up in the second half, 19 points in the second half to carry them home.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Malaysia Fawali, who you guys know I am a huge fan, has decided to switch allegiances and stay in league. And now she's going to go play for Kim Mulkey. Her, Flau'jae Johnson in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to watch. You wonder sometimes with roster construction, maybe too much is not too good.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
I don't know what he was doing taking step-back threes at the end of that regulation when he's got bigs on him and he should be driving to the hole.
It's already bad enough that I'm playing with all these NBA and D1 studs that are unstoppable, and I'm the worst one there, and I can still ball with them. But if I start calling fouls, they'll revoke my privileges. Like, I man up when I play with them.
Pharrell Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.